Okay. And here goes nothing. Welcome everyone at Bloomington's Early Music Festival. I'm Jermaine Butler. Today I will be doing a short interview with El Tayr Ensemble from Spain. Here with me today I have Jon Wasserman and also Alberto Espinosa Diaz. Could you guys both introduce yourselves?
Yeah, so hi, I'm Jon. I'm the plucked strings player and sometimes singer of the group. I'm playing in this program. I'm playing theorbo, vihuela, Renaissance guitar, tsoras, which is a traditional Greek instrument, and
Oud.
yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to thank Bloomington Early Music Festivals for having us here, sharing this time and giving us the opportunity of playing our program, and also the Jewish Studies program. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I'm Alberto Espinosa. I'm the percussionist, and I designed the program and the story. In this program, I play. There are lots of instruments. Let me say, drums like medieval big drums, castanets, tamburello, rick, tombak, which I will say is my main thing. What else? What else? A square frame drum from Castilla.
Dindir?
And the vendir, yes, the vendir. Yeah, the big one and a smaller one, yeah.
Def. Yeah.
DAF, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but I didn't use the DAF in this. Because some things have changed from the very first version of the program. After trying things, some little things changed, and finally we didn't include the DAF in the.
There we are. I noticed that whenever I was going through the original program, especially starting off with the first track that you guys did, Morena Me Llaman. It said that you were playing that one on vihuela, and I had never heard of the vihuela before. But whenever I was watching it, I was like, I don't think that looks like something different. I was getting more of honestly, a Turkish and a Greek vibe.
It was, yeah. Yeah, it was I played the tsoras on that one. Yeah.
There we are. So that makes sense. Wonderful. Well, everyone, I would like to welcome you to their performance of the Journey of Abendino. This is the story of a Sephardic Jew who was exiled from Spain in 1492. And he takes his journey from Granada, his homeland, to Istanbul. I believe specifically Sirkeci, Istanbul. I guess, yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing to finish the program with Los Caminos de Sirkeci, because since Sirkeci is the Sephardic Jewish neighborhood in the old Istanbul, it was like a perfect tune to tell the whole story just with the piece. So yeah.
Beautiful. So yeah, I was about to say, could you tell me more, I guess tell us, the audience, more about the expulsion of 1492? I know this was in connection with the Alhambra edict, and this is after, I'm pretty familiar with the Muslim era in Spain, but this is after that. So just give us a little bit of background information about why was our hero Abendino exiled?
Yeah, so the thing is, also the beginning of the program will be a bit before the expel. We don't say it specifically, kind of say it in the program, but the beginning will be the conquer of Grenada and the 2 of January of the same year, and then the ending of the Muslim presence in the Iberian Peninsula. So at that moment, the Catholic monarchs, they had a problem because for centuries, the Jews, they had occupied a very good position because they were not a threat for the nobility, but they were taking responsible positions in the administration of the courts. So a lot of people from the lower positions were very hateful against them, and there was for centuries growing a kind of hatred against the Jews because they killed Christ and these crazy things they used to say at the time. At that moment, against the will of the queen, because she didn't really want to expel the Jews, but all the religious power and the growing bourgeoisie, they decided this was the end, so they hadn't anything else to do. They were forced to do this.
Yeah.
And it was at the end of March. And in the dict, we recite a part of the dict which tells about the spelling of the Jews. They had until the month of July to live without any of their things. They had to live only taking what they could carry with them.
Yeah.
And leave the kingdom. They will have 3 months of free pass. And then, bad thing if you are a Jew and stay in the kingdoms. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that background information. And so I guess now connected with, this historical events and this story that you guys have put together, really amazing story. I'm really lucky in that I've been sent the recording ahead of time. So I've been able to watch it a couple of times and I really enjoyed it. So many great tones, so many great songs, some of them that I recognize. A lot of them were pretty new to me though. And one of the main questions that I have is that whenever you were creating this, like what was the catalyst or the impetus for creating Abendino's story? Like did the story come first or did the repertoire come first?
First comes the repertoire. This is an idea I had. I met Olga a year ago, playing in Valencia with Capella de Ministrers. And we were playing a Renaissance dancing program, very historical standard, I would say. And we had both a common interest in early music, but also in traditional Mediterranean, Sephardic. He was playing a bit Ney. And then we decided, and one morning I just woke up realizing how to put everything together. So if we want to play early music, Sephardic tunes, and also Mediterranean music, which I love, this kind of Balkanic, with different odd meters and these kind of things. So with this history, we can make everything work because we can just make this from Spain. We start with Cancionero de Palacio, which is the biggest source for early Spanish Renaissance music. And then we can add everything. And then eventually we met Jon. Well, actually, I have met Jon and we have played a bit of cantigas from Alfonso X a year ago. Okay. And I thought he was like very good adding for the program. And just looking how he sings and play all these kind of strings, very, very good.
Most definitely. I think I would say that you played a crucial role in many of these songs.
Yeah.
I just do what they tell me.
Right. I also play the oud, so I know that sometimes I just do what they tell me as well.
Sure.
So in connection with this as well, so we have this Journey of Abendino, and he is, I guess, could you tell me more about the character of Abendino? Because along his journey, you're telling me that he's going through different environments. There's some dangers. Who is he? How do you see this character? Like, is this an old man, a younger man? What are the environments that he is interacting with this music along the way? Is he in churches? Is he in bars, brothels? Is he in palaces? Could you tell me more about that?
There are some tips hidden inside the music, because at the beginning, Abendino had a very clear character, but eventually we realized we would like to make it, we kept the name of Abendino for making like for a personal journey, but also something which would be common to all the people who has been expelled, thousands of Jews along the centuries, people from all over the world, from the East, from the West. So he could be all of us. He could be you, he could be me. So we could say he's a young guy because else he wouldn't be able to take all of this, but not specifically defined character. So this helps us to make it more common. Some things which we could say, for example, in the middle of the program. Also, I would have to say the text we have two, the Edict of Granada, and also the one from the one from Eliha Kapsali, which is a Jewish historian from the same period, but the other texts are from earlier sources, but they are all Sephardic. So this was the idea.
I was going to say though too, because you guys opened up, which I thought was a great opening, by the way, with a verse from Isaiah 69, Old Testament, as well.
Yeah, for me it's like the good introduction. This text, then Morena me llaman, and then the first pieces will be like the introduction, and then, for example, other pieces like Raining Blood, I think is the best one to start the exile because of the meaning of the lyrics of the song, telling about the born of Abraham and these kind of things. Yeah. And also in the Italian part, Durme Durme and La Rosa Enflorece, especially Durme Durme, for me it was, my idea was he was in his ship traveling through the Adriatic Sea, and then he's looking at the stars in the boat, and then he remembers an old lullaby his mother used to sing to him, and then John starts singing, and it's like the moment when you miss all of that and you feel like you're lost.
Yeah, see, I'm so glad that you're telling me this right now, because for a lot of these songs, since my Spanish isn't, no es tan bueno, but I'm okay. I can get a couple of little things here and there. But I was able to go and look at the lyrics for a lot of these songs, or at least like go and look at the background for it. And so I saw that Durme Durme was a Ladino lullaby. And so for a lot of these, I was wondering, I was like, okay, like how are these fitting, into the story? So I'm specifically glad that you mentioned that one. And so like I can see him, Abendino now on his journey thinking about that. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's a great addition to this.
Thank you. Also with the text before, I think they both connect perfectly. The text from Moshe Ben Ezra, which is like very nostalgic, and then the Durme Durme. Yeah, so the thing is, Abendino could be so many different people, but also we had some ideas we finally didn't include in the final program because we had this kind of argument, discussion. Argument.
We talked about it.
We talked about it, like how to
heated debate.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
If we talk too much and tell too much of a story, the thing gets boring because we need to do just the minimum necessary to have a story. So I wrote, if you read the program, some of the texts are written by me to give a bit of information about how to follow the path. But most of the thing was just like you listen to the program and you can have your own feelings and your own, like John, for example, he comes from the USA, now he's here in Spain, he has had some problems and he has had to come back to the States and then come back to Spain. Also he can be related to this journey.
Yeah, definitely. Also, I want to mention, John, you are also an Indiana University graduate, are you not?
Yeah, I'm an alumni of the early music program.
There we are. Coming around full circle. Is this another member of the group?
Yeah.
This is
He's the manager.
Yeah. El Gato Blanco. I like it.
Musaka.
What's its name?
Musaka.
Musaka, like the dish.
Like yeah.
Very nice. I feel like that's a great addition to the program as well. Musaka.
Yeah.
So I like this.
Sorry, I played. No. I've played in previous editions of the Bloomington Early Music Festival. So I'm really happy to come with my own project, but from Spain this time.
Definitely. I love this. This is good. I hope that you like this in the video and that you don't edit it out. I'm just saying that right now. So I had one more question, I guess, involving the sort of the repertoire that you guys are doing here, because I don't want to give too much away for the audience. I want to, still have it be a surprise what they're getting into. But I noticed that you guys started, like I said, with Morena Me Llaman. And I was wondering, whenever I was listening to that song, this is the first time I'd ever heard it, but it seemed very upbeat to me. It almost seemed like something I could hear in a medieval castle with people dancing to it. And so I was just wondering, why would you use that sort of song at the beginning of such a sad story?
Well, so I actually did the arrangement for that one. And all of the versions you hear of it are very sweet and right, very sweet and nice. But I'm thinking to what music would have sounded like, medieval music in general, right? Pulling from what I know historically and then adding, the modern vibe of it, right? And so like these open, like power chords, like these open fifths, and playing over a bordeaux and like playing over a drone note. That's essentially how I started with the arrangement. And then Alberto came in and he was like, boom, 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 and so it just fit really nicely together. And yeah, I think it's a great way, an exciting, fun way to start the program. And
definitely.
it's a different version of it.
Also, I think we have tried to do through all the program is to mix Sephardic or early pieces with different instruments. At the end, you have Los Caminos with vihuela, which is I think the only version I have ever heard of that tune with vihuela.
Yeah.
And Jon was, no, but this is we do. And I was, no, I want only one drone, but I want it with the vihuela because it's a way to connect the East with the West.
Right.
And also, all the time we're trying to make this kind of mixtures. For Morena Me Llama and this rhythm, I tried to put over the arrangement he made, which is a pavana. It's very Renaissance, basic Western stuff. So trying all the time to mix it. Yeah. Because things were not separate, like the culture, the different cultures that we connected, and also the approach we try to make. It's not just early music or traditional music or Sephardic music. It's using early and ethnic instruments and try to mix everything together. Yeah.
Beautiful. And so this actually, I actually had another question. I'm glad that you brought this up too, because I had a question regarding the instruments. I was hoping that you both of you guys could tell me about the specific instruments that you're playing in this performance and how those instruments fit in with the story. Because like for you, Alberto, I saw you on tombak, I saw you on the rick, I saw you on so many different percussion instruments. And, whenever I see the tombak, of course, I immediately think classical Persian music. So I'm like, okay, how does this fit in here? And then, for you, Jon, I saw you on oud, I saw you on vihuela, so many different things, and Olga on nai, Olga on recorder. And so, yeah, I was just wondering how, for you guys, these different instruments helped with telling the story, the journey of Abendino, if you will.
I don't know. I mean, I think the basis of it is like we're all multi-instrumentalists, right? And I think honestly the biggest part is we just like playing a bunch of instruments in the same program.
I support it.
So in all honesty, I think that's the biggest factor. But when you're talking about fusion, right, you're not just talking about style, you're talking about like musical timbres as well, right? And it's not just about harmonies, it's about the idiomatic syncrasies of each instrument.
Beautiful. Leave him there. Yeah, let him stay there. Wonderful.
So yeah, and he's literally traveling through these places. And so even if it's an old song he remembers from his past, but he's in a new country or a new place, he'll play with people using the instruments local to that region, right? Like today.
Beautiful. Exactly. Yeah. Love it. And so I guess one last question for you guys about Abendino's journey. Since this is essentially a story of exile, a story of diaspora, I mean, I guess him being a Sephardic Jew, he was already considered being in the diaspora. And now this is sort of a second, third, fourth, fifth, I don't know which number exile he's going into now, to what is now modern day Turkey. Do you see any connections, both of you, with Abendino's story and modern day stories of exile and diaspora?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's not a new thing for Jews and for other people, right? It's a sad but true story about human history, right? People have been kicked out of their lands over and over again since the beginning of time. And it's unfortunately not something that has stopped happening. So, we want to pay homage to all the displaced people now, today.
Definitely.
And pay respect to all the different cultures that have fused and changed and while still holding on to their roots, right? That's sort of, the modern like homage we want to pay, right?
Yeah.
Also, in the program, we have a little mention, also we talk about it, in Jarras Al Fatan, which is a classical Moroccan tune.
Oh, yeah.
They say it was from the golden days in the Iberian Peninsula, and also because a bit later than the spell of the Jews, the Moriscos, the Moorish people in the peninsula, were expelled and had the same treatment and had to live the same way. And also, this is another good thing to remember, that we are not so different. We all have been expelled, no matter which religion we have. In Japan, the Catholics were persecuted and killed in the past. So everywhere, different people persecute other people, and we should think about this. How, especially considering all the things that are happening now in the world, in Ukraine, in the Middle East, in Africa, it's a good moment to think we are not that different, and we're all suffering everywhere from all the sides and from all the positions.
Most definitely. So I guess just to, in order to not end the interview on a low note of all of the world, the issues that are happening in the world right now, unfortunately, you know, which continue to happen in the world. This is, you know, we're seeing that this has been happening for a long time, from even your story of Abendino here. I'm just wondering, for the crowd, something to look forward to, what are each one of yours favorite songs in this set?
Mine, Los Caminos de Sirketsi, because I love that song. And I wrote a very crazy, weird arrangement in the middle of the song, which I'm very proud of. Particularly, I really like the way he sings and the performance. Olga did a superb job playing the flute part, and I really, for me, it's the best way to end. Also, I get very, when I'm reciting that little text in the middle of the song, I get very sentimental. So yeah, I will take that one.
Beautiful. And for you, Jon?
A lot of them are great. You know, like all of the like traditional Mediterranean music for me, that's all really new for me when starting this program, or when rehearsing for this program. So having to learn all these different like modal structures and rhythms and
little Hijaz here.
Yeah, like the Giovanno Giovanke, the 7-time rhythm.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
You know, and playing it with the oud, which, you know, I started playing it a year ago.
Okay. Hey, look, you started playing oud a year ago.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
I bought one a year ago.
There we are. Yeah, it sounds.
I still haven't figured out how to play it, but you know, trying to adapt all of these. You know, I think if I have to pick one, it would probably be Giovanno Giovanke, just because it's really exciting. We've also recorded it, and we have like a little EP on Spotify.
I saw that on Bandcamp as well, I believe.
On Bandcamp as well, yeah. If you enjoy it, you can go listen to it there.
Well, listen, y'all.
And yeah, I think that's my favorite.
Wonderful. Well, y'all heard them. Be on the lookout for those specific songs, but of course, the entire set is amazing. I want to thank you guys so much at Tayr Ensemble for speaking with me today. Alberto and Jon. Olga couldn't be with us today, but you will see her magic on the woodwinds in this performance. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.